But on this trip, the Mexican army clearly challenged the idea that drugs and corruption will last forever. We asked the Mexican government to show us their eradication efforts firsthand. So they took us to a remote part of the state of Guerrero, northeast of Acapulco. These rugged mountains shield lush valleys, perfect for growing heroin poppies. The poppies link the lives of the poor Mexican farmers directly to the drug cartels, according to General Lopez Portillo.
The farmers need to resolve their immediate problems to make sure they can eat, and for that, they need to work for other people.
The officers in charge of this operation seem sincere. They say there are 25,000 brave soldiers deployed to cut down fields like this one. The soldiers do back-breaking work, living and sleeping in the mountains for weeks at a time.
¿Piensa usted que la reputación de su país?
Do you think the reputation of Mexico is being unfairly smeared?
Nosotros no creemos eso. Estamos seguros de eso.
We do not think that it is. We are sure of it. Look at these men here. They are deployed 300 days a year. How can anyone say that we are not doing enough when you can see for yourself what is being done?
Society has to be willing to fight a war on drugs. You have to have Mexican society up in arms saying, you have to do something about this. Our children are dying in the schools. Mexican society is not clamoring for that because its kids are not dying, because there is not a mass social problem, and consequently there's no mass social reaction.
Whether or not the Mexican people support a war on drugs, the Mexican government is supposedly cooperating, at least according to President Clinton's drug czar, Barry McCaffrey.
We are absolutely maintaining a presence, an interdiction presence in working with Mexico on their coastal waters. So cooperation has gone from 0 to considerable. Is it adequate? No.
The notion that Mexico is a partner fighting at our side in the drug war is a political dream, or maybe just a political lie.
$7 to $10 billion a year.
The Senate faced the hard truth earlier this year when Ron Kushner, an investigator for the nonpartisan GAO, the Government Accounting Office, reported on Mexico's failures.
Drugs are still flowing across the Mexican border into the U.S. It's basically the same levels they have for the last couple of years. There's been no significant increase in seizures and eradications. There's been no major drug trafficker extradited or surrendered to the United States.
In short, Mexico's anti-drug efforts last year, at least, were mostly a disaster, according to our government statistics.
Cocaine seizures fell by 41% to nearly their lowest point in the 1990s. Heroin seizures rose slightly, but remained 67% below 1996 levels.
But those aren't the numbers that Washington really cares about. It's the $174 billion worth of cross-border trade stimulated by the NAFTA agreement that most politicians and business leaders are focused on. This booming trade almost guarantees Mexico's annual recertification as our partner in the drug war. For Mexico, the implications of certification are vast. It means massive trade benefits and loan guarantees. But it also guarantees a stable environment for U.S. business, which has more than $25 billion invested in this country. So every year, the war on drugs takes a back seat to business and politics. And every year, Mexico is recertified.
When the Secretary of the Treasury goes to Mexico, does he talk about drugs or does he talk about bank loans and commerce? If he talks about the latter, the drugs take a back seat, the Mexicans take their cue, and they don't worry about their own corrupt situation.
I was in this office maybe 20 years ago, and I spoke to the then Attorney General, and then I took the Army helicopters to the state of Guerrero, and I watched the eradication of the fields. It's exactly a mirror of what I'm doing today. It indicates to me that the attempts to stop drugs, for whatever reason, are not succeeding. Have we lost this war?
I wouldn't say that we have lost the war, but we certainly are in a very difficult position to win it.
So the drugs continue to pour across the border. And the people who use them and want to stop are fighting their own desperate front in this, the longest war.